Good morning from a very, very busy Alton Towers. Tower Street is rammed, the car park is quite busy, and that massive long walk was hell. So listen, I'm here for the compound behind the scenes. I will poke around the park, because obviously they've got all the decks out for Halloween. Spin you around, they've got Spooky 2 and all that kind of stuff. Now from what I've heard, for once, they've actually put the decks around the park and not just on Tower Street. I am back in 2 weeks with Carly to do all of the mazes. So I'll do compound today because that's included in the behind the scenes thing. I do have a 5-hour drive and I'm at work tomorrow, so I won't be here till the park closes. But again, when I'm here in 2 weeks, I will be here till it does shut, so I'll get some night rides then. So today I'm just going to do the compound thing, poke around the park, might actually take in some entertainment because I never ever do that, and I'm sure I'll get on a handful of rides. So well, let's get inside, shall we? Right, I must be mad, because I'm going to go and do the ridiculously short treetop trail thing, Treetop Adventures, just to see what I can see of the new Bluey construction. I mean, you're not supposed to film on this, but everybody's got their phones out, and the park is super anal about no filming on these rides, which I don't get. I understand on the big rides. I've got a POV of Postman Pat and this before it was butchered, which I haven't released yet. I will at some point, but let's get on this. It says 20 minutes. Let's see. I wandered around and I could see the erection of the building frame for the station. So let's see what I can see from this, shall we?
We did lots of photos. So,
I started the day off there with one of the most thrilling rides in the park. One advantage of them cutting it down to about 30 seconds is that it's got much higher throughput now, so they were absolutely chucking the cars out. I'm being a little bit cheeky because it was about 2.5 minutes, but I could see the building site. Looked like there was a couple of footers and the frame of the station. I'm curious because all the plans we've seen online make it look like the most boring kids coaster in the planet. So yeah, I'll be interested to see what it's like when it actually happens. Maybe there's something to it we've not seen. I'm not expecting it to be thrilling, but yeah, it looks terrible. Right, let's go and poke around the park. I think I've just missed, oh no, the Alton Ancestors is still on. I'll see if I can get a little clip of that and move around the park. So I just saw a little bit of the Alton Ancestors. They're very, very good. Depending on whether YouTube has a go at me or not, you might have heard Michael Jackson Thriller. If they didn't like that, there's probably some fake music over the top of it. But imagine that they were dancing to Thriller, because that's what they were actually dancing to. I'm going to do a lap of the park and just see what the Halloween theming actually looks like. There seemed to be none in the CBeebies land, which I thought was a bit odd. As I say, I have heard it's kind of spread around the park, so I will see what I can see. I'm just coming up for a spinball, and one of the positives is that they've not brought Daz Games Panic back this year. I think it was a good interactive experience, and if that's what it was all year round, fine, but as a scare maze, it was terrible. It wasn't scary at all, and the whole point was to get out as quick as possible, so you paid money to be in there as little time as you possibly could. I mean, that's money making if ever I heard it. So, but thankfully, it's no back this year. What is back is Compound and Altonville Mine Tours, along with the new Edge of the Forest, which, as I said earlier, I'll be doing that in 2 weeks' time. And I've heard mixed reviews. Some people absolutely love the new one, some think it is terrible. But one thing I did say in the Fright Nights vlog, which applies here too, is the problem with scare mazes is they're so variable, right? Depending on who's in your group, if it's one that goes multiple routes, what route do you go? Depending on the scare actors, you can have a really good experience or an absolutely shocking one. Then that's okay if it was a free thing, but when you have to pay and then you want to pay to go in again, you kind of want a bit of consistency. So anyway, I'll be reviewing them next week, 2 weeks, when I'm here. But right now, I'm just going to see what the decks are like. I feel like I might have been lied to. I mean, I'm down in X sector. And a bit like CBBS, there is absolutely no Halloween theming down here at all. Speaking of things not being here, a couple of the food doohickeys have moved around the park. I never actually went and tried any of these. I kind of hope that they just get rid of them and put a damn ride in here. It's one thing this park is desperately in need of, is a few more attractions. It was great to get Toxicator this year, and obviously they're doing CBBS next year. It looks more and more like they've just given up on Project Horizon, which I think is a disaster, as this park struggles to get permission to do anything. And if they don't put a spade in the ground by February, I think it is, January, February, they've lost it. So I'd love to know what their plans are, but given the state of Merlin's financial situation, probably not very much. Right, let's see if I can find this theming, shall we? Because there's none so far. Now here's a question for you. How many years is too many years to bring the same maze back? Because I think that's now on its 10th year, which I think is roughly what Attic had, and it's now disappeared. So maybe this is going. For me, I only went on it for the first time last year, so I'm not fed up with it yet. But if you're somebody who's been coming here year after year and doing this, it gets a bit samey. So as I say, I'll see what it's like in a few weeks' time, but it's nice to get new things. It's good to keep them for a couple of years, because obviously not everybody comes every year. But yeah, let me know in the comments, how many years is too many? I'd love to know. I see some theming. Actually some theming. It's kind of nice for them to do something to the towers. I mean, it's kind of a fairly central part of the place. So adding a wee bit of theming isn't bad. I mean, it's just some bunting and two kind of statue things. Better than nothing, no way. Right, seems I missed a trick. Somebody mentioned, oh, you did the ghost tour. Well, I didn't know anything about it, so I thought, oh, I'll go and book that. That'll be something else for me to do whilst I'm here. It's fully booked. So I don't know if it's extremely limited availability or just really popular. But I won't be doing that. Just like I won't be doing Hex, because, shock, it's closed. Again. I mean, I don't know if it's... I mean, there's staff there, so maybe they're going to open it later, but, yeah. I feel for them. After all the work they did to make it more reliable, it's not more reliable. It's still shut. So, hey-ho. I see some more theming. There's a dude over there with a hose at the fountain. And there's one of those food doohickeys that I mentioned earlier. Also, in the background, the Oak and Chain place, I believe they saw some sense and put some normal burgers on there. Because when I went the start of the year, they only had those daft donut burgers. And I'm sorry, but I don't want a donut on my burger. They still have it if you do want to try it, but they also have some normal burgers for sensible people. Whew. I'm going to do a lot of walking today, haven't I? Oh boy. Alright, apparently David Williams doesn't do Halloween either. There is nothing here. Including literally nothing there. Behind this is where that Project Horizon I was talking about could, should, won't be. And obviously that Flavio's Fabulous Fandango was always temporary and is now left. Which, that in itself I'm not worried about, but like, replace it with something? Right, anyway, I just chatted to one of the staff there and mentioned I was doing the compound thing, and he said it's really good, getting to see behind the scenes. Now here's the thing with that, when I booked it, they said no filming, no photography. Then I got an email from them about a week ago saying you're allowed to take photos in select locations, which sounds very similar to Walk Wickerman and Walk Oblivion, where it's kind of at the discretion of the staff. So I will get as many photos as I can. I might be able to get the odd 5-10 second clip, but I certainly will not be able to film it in its entirety. So I'll show you as much as I can and tell you the rest. But I am looking forward to it, because I do enjoy behind the scenes of anything. Right, let's see if there's any theming in Dark Forest, shall we? Oh, and maybe see if Rita's running, because it's not the most reliable thing, is it? Right, I stand corrected on Rita. It's actually running. Do Halloween prizes count as theming? Because still not seen anything. Listen, I mean, I've obviously shown you a couple of things so far, which is more than normal, because usually there's nothing outside of Tower Street. But it's a massive park. They could even just do... I mean, when I was at Blackpool yesterday, they must have bought like a job lot of like 500 pumpkins and just put them everywhere. Surely they could do that. Let's see if there's anything round by the entrance to 13 and Rhea, because yet again, there's nothing here. That's a great big lie. The queue is all the way back there. That is not 30 minutes, that is 30 days. Holy moly. Yeah, busy one today. Maybe I'll not get on any rides. By the time I've poked around the park, ended up 50 minutes on 13. Holy moly. Yeah. Well, on a positive note, there's no, well, not a positive note, on a negative note, there's no theming. And massive queues. Maybe when I come in 2 weeks, maybe when I come in 2 weeks I'll be fast tracking, because otherwise I might get on nothing. And Carly's a princess, so she'll want fast track. So, whee. Right. Chances of some theming? There's got to be theming over by Wicker Man, right? Oh, I can't go this way. When did they block? Oh, edge of the forest. Damn it! Right, back we go. I found some theming. I mean, it's one dude in a coffin. Something. Some more theming. Just here at the courtyard bit, but I think they've moved the stage in here this year, which seems a bit daft. They have. There's the stage right there. I don't know, that just seems, this is a really small area and it's likely to get really, really busy. Like, why have they not just left it on the lawns like they do every other year? People probably won't even know this is here. And those who do, probably there'll still be too many of them. So, yeah, strange choice. Strange choice. Standard Merlin, strange choice. See if there's any other theming around here before I turn the camera off. And no. Theming. Right, that's a good one. So, there was nothing in Mutiny Bay. There was one statue at the Katanga Canyon sign. But that one there, that's like themed in, because it's, what is it, Katanga Curiosities or something? Well, that one's pretty good. At least it's kind of appropriate to the area and stuff. So, yeah. Listen, it's better that they've started putting some stuff outside of Tower Street, but as I said earlier, just chucking some pumpkins around the place would have made a difference. Right, next up is Curse, which, I mean, that is spooky, right? So surely they've added something there. If it's quite cute, I might jump on it too. Right, this is pretty bad. You have a specifically spooky ride and you don't even add any more theming for Halloween. That's pretty shocking. On a positive note, it is 5 minutes, which, I mean, looking at this, Toxicators 25, Nemesis Subterra 35, Oblivion 35. Like, oh, Rita 70 minutes. I mean, at least it's running. Even in the family fun. Oh, they're alright, they're about 5 minutes, but yes. Busy. Let's go see Emily. There's a second ride of the day done. As I say, I'm not here for rides today, and I do enjoy that one. On a positive note, the Trommel Tunnel was actually running. There was a lot more dark spots, oh, not out here there isn't. There was a lot more dark spots than I remember. It's a very, very clever ride. I do enjoy it. It's just always walk on, so kind of need to do it. I am coming up for Compound and I have to be here in about half an hour, so I might have a quick gander in Forbidden Valley to see what's there, and then come back to do the behind the scenes. See you in a minute. Right, I'm off to Liseberg next weekend, and they've just got a Plus Breakdance 5, which many people think is what is intended for this arcade building, which, I mean, right now it is literally arcades, but it seems a rather large space, and obviously they knocked down the old one and built this. And I'm sure there was some like plans that said something about a ride-op cabin, and there was also rumours that they'd done a 3-ride deal with us, and obviously we've got the top spin, so curious to see if we're getting any more. Park desperately needs some filler attractions. As I've said already, I just don't know if they've got the money for it. It's a catch-22. The park needs to be spending money to bring people in, although it's very busy today, but they don't have any money. And to be honest with you, there's part of me, I've said this before, I think Merlin should sell this park to somebody who cares, because I just don't think they do. They seem to be focusing on Chessington and Thorpe, probably because they're closer to Universal's new location. Towers seems to be the abandoned child. Yes, they did all the stuff in Forbidden Valley 2 years ago, but if Project Horizon hasn't started, nah, I think they've lost interest. On another note, I'm wandering around here, and it's yet another area that has bugger all theming for Halloween. I mean, it's very well themed anyway, just not Scarefest themed. Right, the queue's starting to form outside now for the behind the scenes of Compound. As I said, probably not going to be able to film anything, and they say that you can take photos in some places, so I will share as much as I possibly can when I get out of this, then I'll just tell you the rest, because I'll have to. So I'll see you when I get back out. Well, that's that behind the scenes done. That lasted just over an hour. They did let us film the first room, but nothing after that, so I've taken a whole pile of notes, because you could use your phone just not to take photos. So I'm going to go through some of my notes, because it was good. It was really, really good. First of all, Compound, and I had to write this down because there was no way I was remembering, it stands for Conversion of Organic Myosinic Pathogens of Unclassified Nemesis DNA. Now, interestingly, it wasn't going to be called that, it was going to be called Nest, and there are still some Easter eggs in there to the original name, which stood for Nemesis Extraction of Symbiotic Testing. Now, they did say that there are 12 rooms in there, which we went in and saw, and 36 different routes. Here's my thing with that. I'm not a huge fan of that, to be honest. It's great for those who have got the unlimited pass and can go back through it again and again, and you get that kind of, it's not rewritability, but you can go through it multiple times and see something different. But as a normal guest who has to pay 16 quid to do it, the fact that you might miss half the maze and have to go through it again and again, and you could keep getting the same rooms over and over again, I'm not a huge fan of that. I think that's a pretty crap idea, to be honest, and I prefer a linear maze. There was a few funny things in there. So in the laundry room, they've got like detergent and stuff, and they've had to cover up all the brand names. They had to do that in the kitchen with the cereals and stuff, which is hilarious because it's pitch black and you can't see anything, but for copyright they still had to cover up all the labels. So that was interesting. Also in the laundry room they had some Wicker Man uniforms, just why not? They did say that the way that the staff do this is they communicate, they obviously can't speak to each other, but they kind of have got this weird organic system of like banging on things to say that there's a group coming and stuff. So they've got this whole kind of language going on between the scare actors, which is pretty cool to know. There's loads of stuff that's reused from other places, like there's some tubes in there from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, there's some cages used from previous mazes, lockers are from Project 42, there's a sliding doors room in there, which is, I don't think I saw that, I must have gone that way, I think, but basically they've got these sliding doors so they can change the route, and you can end up kind of getting isolated from your group or not isolated, which is kind of cool. And there's a whole accessible route as well, so if you are wheelchair bound there's a completely different route that they take you on. They did also mention that in there is a filing cabinet that mentions Project Ocean. Now this was there last year, it was the first hint before it had even been announced, so there's a little bit of an Easter egg in there. And then there's a poster towards the end, there's kind of like the reaction times thing. There's a poster in there about all the benefits of Nemesis DNA and how it makes you stronger and faster and stuff. So what I would say is the level of detail in that maze is bonkers, especially since you can't see it as a normal person going through that maze. Like, you're through there, it's pitch black, you're through it pretty quickly, so it's kind of wasted, but it's great that they've put that level of detail in there. In terms of the VIP experience and behind the scenes, my frustration, as is always the case with Merlin, is their policy on photography and filming. Now, I get it, I'm a content creator and I obviously want to share things with you, but even if you aren't, if you're just somebody that's there for your own memories, you're not able to take pictures. It is ridiculous. You look at places like Blackpool, who just let you do everything. I've never understood why Merlin is so fussy about it, and I would really, really like to see them open that policy up, but unfortunately, I don't see that happening. In any case, that is that part of the day done. The maze opens soon. I think I'm probably going to go and grab some lunch and then go back and do the maze properly. It'll be interesting to see it now that I've kind of seen behind the scenes and kind of know what's all there. They also showed us, I think I've got a clip at the start. They had the kind of concept art for what it was going to look like, when it was still going to be called Nest, and the uniforms and stuff. So listen, it was fantastic. I always enjoy these behind the scenes things. It's just frustrating that I couldn't share it with you a little bit more than just me sitting on a bench chatting to you. But I'm going to go and grab some lunch, and then we'll keep going with our day. Right, I got loaded fries. I've got a new Halloween one that's kind of beef and cheese. Give that a shot. And I just got headbutted by a seagull. I thought it was Blackpool that had the seagull problems. Anyway, let's do this, and then it's probably time to go and do compound for real. I was defeated by those fries. I've had them many times, and I have never finished them because there's a lot of eating in them. I actually had a few people ask me where they're from. They're on Tower Street, just down from Towers Trading, loaded fries. 11 quid before season pass discount, so I got that and a drink for 11.60, and they're pretty good. Somebody asked me if Aramark has turned a corner. Not sure if that's true or if it's just not them, because like the place behind me in Mutiny Bay that I always forget isn't them, and I can't get a discount. So I think this one's Aramark though, because I did get a discount. Anyway, that's that done. I'm going to head over to Compound, do a run through on that. I'm going to try and take my time because I feel like I rushed it last time, and I've now seen it, so I want to kind of take it all in a bit more. And then I'm going to check the queue times. I want to at least get one ride done. I might only get one ride done because I don't want to be here any later than 5, given my drive home. So let's go over to Compound, do that, and take it from there, shall we? Right, let's go do it for real and see what it's actually like, shall we? I'm hoping this is a good run through. See you when I get back off. Looks like it could be busy. This could take a while. Okay, there was quite a queue. It says 25 minutes. I think it was about 25 minutes. I would say I got split up, but I'm on my own. So I went through the maze pretty much on my own the whole time, which was pretty good. Very, very disorientating. Of course, I'm trying to remember it from when I went through it this morning with the lights on. Hello. And it was, yeah. That was the most disorientating I've done of that. That was really good fun. Again, like the younglings were up in my face, and I'm like, that looks like some sort of mask from B&M. Not very convincing, and I just laugh at all the actors. So I enjoyed it though. However, I'm now going to try and get at least one ride in before I go home. And the signal around here is crap, so I can't even tell you what the queue times are like. So I'm going to go over and try and do Nemesis. And if I can't get Nemesis, I might do Toxicator. But somebody just said got stuck on Nemesis for 20 minutes. That's giving me hope. Right, let's go and try and get at least something before I head home. See you on a ride. Alright, Nemi says 40 minutes and Toxicator says 20. So I'm going to go and do Toxicator and then see if things are... I don't really want to leave after 5, basically, because I want to get home for a decent time. But if Nemi's not too bad, I might still do that. Be a little bit later. Listen, loads of people have come up and said hi to me today, which is fantastic. I've said this many times. If you do see me, please come and say hello. I know some people are like, oh, I saw you, but I was too nervous to come say hi. But you guys spend hours watching my videos. The least I can do is take 5 minutes of my day to chat to you. And I've chatted to quite a few people today, so... Right, let's go submit to the spin. And then, hopefully, get on Nemi after it. See you in a minute. That took longer than expected. I went in single rider because, you know, I'm on my Todd. And then they went, oh, it's going to take longer in single rider than main queue. So I moved to the main queue. By the time I got to the front, everybody else that was in the single rider queue with me had gone. So that was a stupid idea. I should have stayed in the single rider. It's kind of 4:30, and I said I wanted to leave at 5. But as long as Nemesis is 40 minutes or less, I'm going to do it. Kind of hoping. Hi! I'm kind of hoping it is 40 minutes or less, because I'd quite like to get a proper coaster done today. Wish me luck. 35 minutes. Happy days. I really do enjoy Nemesis. I forgot to mention the fountains. I mean, they're definitely not on the soak you setting, which I'm glad because I didn't really want to get soaked. Well, they're not even on the basic setting. One side's not running at all, and the other side's like dribbling. It's like an old man. Nemi, what can I say? I love that ride. I don't love B&M's current rattle. Interestingly though, when I got into the brake run, the person sitting 2 across from me went, oh, I forgot how smooth this was. I mean, listen, it's no infusion, it's not a headbanger, but it's definitely more rattly than it used to be, so. Anyway, that brings my day to an end. I thoroughly enjoyed the behind the scenes of Compound. Next weekend I am in Sweden for Liseberg, and then I'm back here again the weekend after to do Scarefest properly and do all of the mazes. So make sure you're subscribed for all that. If you enjoyed this one, make sure you hit that like button. I've been Chris, you've been watching Coaster Dad, and I'll see you in Sweden. Adios.